Right, I am here with Anton Gilmore, and of course, you've partnered up with BGTN. Anton, tell us a little bit more about what's going on and how this all came about.
Hayden, a year ago, I did a tournament at Southern Suburbs. BGTN covered that. It was the first Masterbox SA title and whatever, and you know how that went. Anyway, a couple of months after that, Trevor connected with me and he said that he wanted to do something to raise the level of boxing in South Africa and just give everybody a developmental chance. And so he called me in. I went away for a couple of weeks, came back with this Elimin8 idea. And it just, he was very happy with the prospect of what it is. Because essentially what we're doing here is we're taking guys that are just sub-SA title and giving them an opportunity to raise a level up to that title sphere. So that's where we're going. Also, at the same time, we've got a span of promoters throughout the country. And this gives them an opportunity to show their wares, Tanyani is our first lady that's going to be doing the Krugersdorp event, and it's only her second event, but the first one went famously, so we're expecting good things from her. And then we're going to be touring the country. We'll be all around the country. We've got Durban in end of January, and then we're back in Gauteng for the final. And on each one of these events, Hayden, we've got 13 boxing ambassadors in South Africa, and to give them an opportunity to be hailed again for the heroes that they are. The 12 world champions will be on each one of these events. Now, the first one's Jan Bergman. Toekomsrus is around the corner from Kagiso, so that's just a good one. And we try to make these tournaments in the vicinity of that boxing ambassador of South Africa.
You mentioned multiple promotions. How many different provinces are we going to be exploring?
So when I spoke to Trevor, he said, Anton, let's do this nationwide. Let's go all over the country. Let's rebuild boxing. So we're going to Durban, East London, Kimberley, Cape Town, Northwest, Limpopo, Pretoria, Johannesburg. And I think Johannesburg gets 2 or 3 of them,
As the hub of boxing, yeah.
Exactly, and that's where I'm from. So nepotistic, no. And what we try to do with this whole series, there was no nepotism. It wasn't handed from BSA saying, go use this promoter or anything like that. We looked at who was doing good things and who's doing development. And so that's how we selected these guys, and that's it, So it's a fair thing.
And just to give more context to the audience out there watching Elimin8, the idea that you came up with, are we exploring multiple weight divisions? Are we focusing on one weight division for now? How does the future look for Elimin8?
Okay, so for the Elimin8, the first 3 months, we're doing the December 1st, and there's not much happens in December. People are all around. So we're doing the end of January, which will be in Durban. And so over 3 months, they get 8 fights, quarterfinals, 8 contenders, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. And on the third one, it's the big event, and we'll also have possibly a Gauteng title fight on that as well. We'll just see how it goes. So first one's lightweights. Second one, we're still establishing, do we go with the welterweights, or because we're going to East London with one of the events, we think about junior fly. And we've got 16 junior flies down there, and I said, listen, MZ, boy, cut it back to 8 fighters. So, we're going to do the junior flies after that. But it's not to say other people get excluded if they're not junior flies, because the promoter gets handed this event. Live TV, worldwide, possibly local connection to SABC or something like that. And all he's got to do is put the bill together, eliminate fighters, and the rest of the bill is their fighters against. There's got to be 2 or 3 fight with inside fighters on this. Since we've got 12 pros, I've got to keep them active. And on this first one, it's Sipho Mashlangu fighting for the Gauteng title in junior welterweights, and I've got my boy Jonas Senga also fighting Jody Solomon's guy. And that should be a great fight. So we've got a very nice bull for this first one. It's a class bull. And I'm so glad that she reminded me. Tanyani said, Anton, let's put a ladies fight on, and we intend putting ladies fights on throughout the whole series. I think it's actually in been documented in the BSA mandate that we must put females on. So I'm very happy to do that. And our female boxers are really good, so I expect good things from this event.
I do expect that a lot of these other fights will get attention, but there will be the focus on the Elimin8 and who are these boxers that are in the tournaments. I will go through the fights maybe one by one, and you can tell me what you think on the fight. Obviously, you don't have to say who you think's going to win, but maybe how you think it will be. So the first one you have, in no particular order, I guess, because it'll be functional on fight nights. Talent Beloy taking on Jonathan Latango. I think that's a mouth-watering contest. It's two hot prospects.
Elimin8 put this together, and when I saw him put these 8 guys down for fights, and this first fight, Jonathan is a beast. You know what I'm saying? He's really, and then you've got a skilled talent from Sebastian Rothman's gym. And, you've got brains versus sheer guts, and I'm coming for you, that type of thing. So, great fight. I don't want to choose, but in the back of my head, I'm saying Talent Beloy could be the prospect out of all of them. But we've got so many good names there. Underdogs are littered in this thing.
Yeah, with the sport of boxing, there's always a couple of underdogs that are set to, upset the apple cart. Then next up, I'm just reading off the list, is Tristan Naidu coming up against Ripfumelo Chikwambana.
Yeah.
Of course, Chikwambana is very experienced. Tristan Naidu has just joined Gert Stratum, and he's developing in his game, and he's also on the edge of everyone's seats.
Tristan's great, viewer friendly. He's got a little bit of Naseem Ahmed going down, and I enjoy his style. He speaks well. He's got his own channel going. He's really reporting boxing nicely. I like that. Skills-wise, I think he's got the skills, but Ripfumelo is up and down. So if you catch him on a good day, I think Tristan's in for a hard fight. But he's with a great camp. He's got Gert and like a really serious gym behind him, and he is serious. He's training hard. So depends who pitches up on the day. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And then next up we go to Umpi Sobeko versus Sandile Dumisa. Dumisa's just coming off fighting Katlego Kanyisa, who's a phenomenal fighter. And Umpi Sobeko from Jody Solomon's gym, very interesting prospect as well.
Yeah, when you look at, I respect all Jody's guys. They've got the Roy Jones thing going down, and they all learn to manipulate that system very well for their fighting. I've seen him spar. He is pretty good. And this one, it's a 50-50. I have no idea.
100%. And then obviously you got some international flavour there as well. Well, you had with Latango from DRC, but you have Wezi Chirwa from Zimbabwe, and he's coming up against Humelo from the Eastern Cape. That's going to be also a good contest.
Yeah, the Eastern Cape just make hot guys. So if anybody's coming up from the Eastern Cape, you're going to have a hard time. And we've got an international again, not to affair with these two fighters. I'm one of those guys that only sees the top crop. It depends how much boxing you're watching. So I think you're more inclined to know about these guys. But another good fight. Got some international flavour.
All right, and then Anton, just looking forward to everything. Obviously, your collaboration with your broadcasting partner. You just want to send a message maybe to the people out there so they can understand how this whole thing will be?
Yeah, so we're very fortunate to get BGTN on board to give South Africa another opportunity to get boxing on the last Sunday of the month. It was soccer and boxing in the old days, and we're hoping to reinvigorate that type of ritual. At the same time, BGTN coming on board and saying, listen, Anton, we want to grow the sport. Fantastic. Mandla and Klanganiso sat with me in the meetings once I had proposed it to BGTN and nailed it, and he was just very happy with what we had actually created. So Mandla's been there all the way, and I think he's got a lot of vision and he's got an idea of what he wants to do in the future. So it's been a joy working with him. And then Fight with the Inside, obviously we've got like 360 kids we look after, 130 amateurs and 12 pros, so we needed to keep them active. So this event thing really wraps it up nicely. But BGTN is a feel-good station, and they often promote humanitarian type things. And so Fight with Insight really fills that gap nicely, you know, taking kids from Hillbrow and whatever and giving them opportunity to step up to the world stage. You know, you've got Sipo and Jonas stepping up now. So I'm very excited about this whole collaboration, you know. People ask me, so who owns the contract? It's between myself and BGTN. You know, BSA is a government institution, so they shouldn't be involved. This is a privatized scenario, and that's it. Keeping it simple, you know. As I've said, I've stayed neutral in terms of who got tournaments and things like that.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing what's coming up in all the different various cities. I'm sure as we go along, we're going to keep detailing the new tournaments so people will be up to date with everything here on SA Boxing Talk as well. Anton, just a final message from you. Any thank yous, any shout outs for anybody?
My ex-wife, Debbie, and I put this together, you know. So she was brilliant in getting all this, taking what was in my head and putting it on paper and helping me design this. Very grateful for that. And yeah, I'm just I'm happy that I kept my mind and I've got to this place. I've had this great idea for years, and I'm blessed that BGTN stepped up to the plate and said, let's do it.